They mocked her tattoo, laughing as if her sacrifice was just a joke. But when a Marine colonel stepped forward and pulled off his jacket, the entire room went silent. This is the story of respect, courage, and the bond that can never be broken. Where are you watching from today? If this story moved you, make sure to subscribe for more inspiring tales of real courage. The hall was buzzing with voices, laughter, and idle chatter. It was one of those community gatherings where strangers and neighbors alike mingled together. In the middle of the crowd stood a young woman, quiet, reserved, and not seeking attention. She wore a simple jacket, the sleeves rolled back just enough to reveal something on her arm. A tattoo. It wasn't the flashy kind. It wasn't wrapped in colors or flames. It was plain, an eagle, a globe, and an anchor, the emblem of the United States Marine Corps. At first, no one noticed. But then, a group of men standing near her caught sight of it. They exchanged amused glances, then smirks. "Look at that," one of them muttered loudly enough for her to hear. "Fake," another scoffed. "She probably got it from some back alley shop." The third laughed, shaking his head. "A Marine tattoo? On a woman, please? No way she ever made it through boot camp. She's just showing off ink." Their words stung like knives. The young woman lowered her eyes, gripping her arm unconsciously, as if trying to shield the tattoo from their mocking gazes. They didn't know. They didn't understand. That tattoo wasn't a decoration. It was a scar of the soul. It held years of sweat, pain, fear, and survival. She had earned it with every sleepless night, every march under the scorching sun, every bruise and wound that never fully healed. But instead of respect, all she got was ridicule. Her heart pounded in her chest. Memories she tried so hard to bury began to resurface. The sound of helicopters thundering overhead, the cries of her fellow Marines, the acrid smoke of the battlefield, and the silence that followed when the dust settled, leaving behind only the names of the fallen. That tattoo was for them, too. Every line, every shade of ink carried the weight of lives she had fought beside, and here, in this room, her truth was being trampled. One of the men chuckled again. "Come on, sweetheart. Did your boyfriend serve and you just copied his tattoo? Tell us the real story." The crowd around them grew awkward. Some looked away, not wanting to get involved. Others whispered, unsure if the woman would say anything. But she stayed silent, her lips trembling. Speaking would only invite more laughter. Then, a voice broke the tension. Steady footsteps echoed as a tall figure approached. His presence shifted the air instantly. He was older, his short hair streaked with silver, his posture straight as a blade. His sharp gaze landed on the woman first, then on the men mocking her. He wore a simple suit jacket, blending in with the crowd, but there was something unmistakable in his aura. Discipline, authority, and respect. At first he said nothing. He just stood there, his eyes narrowing slightly as if weighing the moment. Then, without warning, he shrugged off his jacket. Gasps spread through the hall. On his forearm, revealed beneath his rolled-up sleeve, was the same emblem, the eagle, globe, and anchor. But his tattoo wasn't faded like hers. It was bold, surrounded by other markings, the kind earned through years of service. It wasn't just ink, it was a declaration. The room froze. The men who had been laughing now stood stiff, their smirks wiped clean. The colonel's voice cut through the silence, calm, but carrying the weight of thunder. "Watch your mouths." He stepped closer, his eyes locking on the men. "That tattoo isn't a fashion statement. It's not a joke. It's blood. It's family. It's sacrifice. Every Marine who wears it has given pieces of their life for it, and you dare laugh?" The men's faces turned pale. None of them dared to answer. The colonel then turned to the young woman. His tone softened, his words carrying quiet respect. "You earned it," he said. "Don't ever let anyone make you feel otherwise. You stood where many couldn't. You carried burdens most can't even imagine. And for that, you deserve more respect than this entire room combined." Her eyes filled with tears. Not tears of weakness, but of relief. For once, someone stood beside her. For once, someone understood the weight she carried. The men who mocked her shuffled back in shame, their arrogance crushed by the colonel's presence. The rest of the hall remained silent, every heart heavy with unspoken reverence. The colonel slowly slipped his jacket back on, his words lingering like fire in the air. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Don't you forget it. And just like that, the hall wasn't filled with laughter anymore. It was filled with respect, not for the tattoo, but for the woman who had earned it, and for the bond that no ridicule could ever erase. Thanks for being here till the end. If this story moved you, give it a like, subscribe for more real moments, and share your thoughts. I read every comment.